wrapping up today it's the 2023 City of Scottsdale's All Things Senior Expo. We've been holed up here, up in the mezzanine, and we've had an opportunity to meet a ton of wonderful vendors. And this is going to be no exception to this. Royal Hospice, Adam Arias, thank you for joining us so much. Talk
Thank
to
you.
us about Royal and Royal Hospice. You service the Valley. You guys are brick and mortar set up here in Scottsdale.
We are. We're located just there near Kierland Commons,
Okay.
North Scottsdale area is our brick and mortar. But we cover a full gamut of the Valley, so
Yeah.
Maricopa County,
Wonderful.
with our Royal Hospice and Vital Palliative Services.
Yeah, and that's an important side. So the fact that palliative and hospice care coming in and out, I just I went through a situation where I had my little sister had passed, and we had to use hospice. We had palliative care, we had hospice care. We were in and out of hospitals, so I learned the differentiation of that.
Yeah.
It's an important thing to understand. What are the gist, or what are the when a family's going to reach out to you guys? What kind of questions are they gonna ask you guys? What do they normally ask, I guess, when they're talking to hospice up front?
Usually it's across the board. It could be someone just looking to get more information, to know a little bit about the service,
Yeah.
and what it all entails.
Yeah.
To last minute, I've got a loved one that's not doing so well, and things are going sideways quickly.
Yeah.
So it just depends. It's broad. But for the most part, it's understanding a lot of how it's billed and how do services get carried out when needed.
I think that's really important. I mean, one of the biggest things, the biggest takeaways I had were understanding hospice and how it interacted, like what that means with the hospice. It's not going to be, if they fall, they're on hospice, they're not going to necessarily call an ambulance to come deal with this, or this might, that's the emotional touch. I don't know that I was really prepared for in the front end, and to understand how it's interwoven with really who has the ball from the perspective of the insurance company, or if it's Medicaid or whomever is taking care or helping out with that. How would you explain when a family should be looking at your guys' services?
Well, I like to say it's when they notice a change. It's either something's changed with someone that they're caring for in the home, or parents. They're seeing them into the hospital more frequently, or it's that they just forgot to take their medication. Because the sooner you can get the information, the better choice you'll make in painting a picture of what you want it to look like when that time does come.
And you guys have steps, right? You have, in addition to hospice and palliative care, you guys also have maybe an entry level step where you might need someone to start coming in and.
That's correct. We have what is Comfort Care, which is our non-medical home care agency, again, located in the same building and covering the Valley. And that, addresses someone that's really just looking for a little bit of extra help in the home. It may not be that they're appropriate for what is palliative care or even hospice, but still having the ability to, or inability to, get to the grocery store, remember to take meds, changing sheets, your activities of daily living, they call it.
Right.
It's like having your own personal assistant and that caregiver staff.
I could see there'd be great benefit in building a rapport with that organization that can step up those levels, that can understand that situation as it unfolds in the last year or so.
Yeah, it was very important for the owner. So we are a locally owned and operated agency, and the owner who rolled out the palliative piece and the hospice piece started in the non-medical care.
Okay.
And in doing that, it was, clients were always asking, doing great care with your staff, can we just stay with you as we transition? Well, certainly that can be a component in that when going through the continuum of care. So Steve Alfonsi, who founded and is the CEO of the company, he felt like it was a need to do that with his history and his background in caring for his parents, and wanting to see that end result and be a part of it more intimately. So he rolled it out.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It's it's emotional and it's confusing during the emotion. If
Very
not,
much.
I mean, it's already confusing in the first place because of the tie of finance to healthcare at that moment of life and death.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant to know they've got organizations that can help you get your eye on the ball early and help walk a family through it, and be that advice and give that to you. That's great. I think building that rapport too is something that sounds to be just critically, just really big, could really add a lot of value.
Right. And a lot of it is when you say building the rapport, it's the trust when it comes to the senior population and even adult children that aren't living in the same state.
Yeah.
It's having somebody that knows you, that has been walking with you through this, that it's same voice on the other end of the phone.
Right.
Having that continuity just feels right to a lot of families when they say, well, we just want to stay with you. We know you. If we, go off to somebody else, then I may not know who I'm dealing with or what the outcome would be. Right. At least having that continuity of care under one umbrella certainly does impact the way the end result is.
And I think you guys have the ability to walk through, whether it's long-term care insurance that they're working through or whatever that payer may be, you can help families walk their way as they step through all of those services as well.
It is. Yeah. In the non-medical home care, it's privately paid.
Right.
But if folks, and a lot of them don't know or know that they have a long-term care plan that they've been paying on, could be a John Hancock or a MetLife. Those have components in it that we're helping families, and we like to share. We help the families walk through that to uncover what the benefits are to it and how it can be applied when needing that in-home care.
That's great. And especially critical then does come that conversation of the ADLs, because that tends to be, it's an insurance, actually started in insurance language, right? That's what they use to determine what the push and requirements might be. So
that's right.
Families understanding and knowing the ADLs when they call you, probably a great place to start.
Yes.
Okay.
For sure.
Awesome. Where can they get more information on you guys and find you guys online?
Well, we are at royalhospice.com.
Okay.
And that's going to be the easiest place to start. What I like to tell folks is that I am the only individual that goes out and have consults with families. So I go out and I teach and understand where they're at. And then we just try to meet you where you're at. And if it's the right time, then certainly we can bring those services in.
I love that. That's a great process. Thank you very much for making the time to kind of open the door for us all and help us to understand that.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Adam. And that's gonna actually wrap us up for the day today. We have been all day live talking to a lot of wonderful vendors. Adam, again, I mean, you didn't disappoint. It was fantastic. I sincerely appreciated you. Much thanks goes out to the city of Scottsdale, from the mayor's office all the way through every other agency and organization involved today, and all of the vendors that participated. Nearly 70 different vendors, over 400 participants that came through the building. And we just really sincerely appreciated the opportunity to share and to build stronger communities here in Scottsdale. For Parent Projects and the City of Scottsdale's All Things Senior Expo here in 2023, we bid you all a wonderful day. And until we meet again, behold and beheld.